US Classic Muscle Cars welcomes us to Supercar Saturday.
Please subscribe.
All right, straight back. You got about 2 feet? Right about there is great.
You had yours.
About 4 years.
Where'd you get that?
Stop.
Welcome to US Classic Muscle Cars. My name is Marlene, and this is Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about your car today?
Yes, ma'am. What this is a made 1990. It's a Ferrari F40. We purchased it in 1993 as a second owner. First owner had 1,700 miles on it in 3 years, and now we have a little over 53,000. So I would drive this to work. My wife and I have driven this on racetracks and so forth, and just enjoy the heck out of it, as you can imagine.
I can't imagine. Now, I hear this car might be a little bit rare.
The Ferrari came out with a limited edition car called the 288 GTO in the mid-1980s. And then every 5 to 10 years afterwards, they would come out with another limited edition car. This was the limited edition car that came out roughly 1990. And then mid-90s to latter 90s, the F50 came along and so forth. Next evolution was the Enzo and now the Laferrari. So Ferrari this was actually a big production run for their limited edition cars. There were over 1,300 of these made. They also made a few of these that were purpose-built race cars that did well in the highest levels of professional racing. But this is a total street car, street legal, and well, I'll say street legal as long as you keep your foot off the accelerator to any degree.
How much horsepower does it have?
The factory rating was a really goofy number, 478 horsepower, which is pretty good given that the cars are not that heavy. These things are probably around 2,900 pounds, 3,000 pounds in that weight range. Even the lighter modern Ferraris weigh a little bit more, and some weigh considerably more. In any case, to Americanize these things, they had to mess around with the computer programs in Italy so that these would be legal in America for emissions. So they actually came in over 500 horsepower for the American versions.
Okay. Can you show us your engine?
Yes, ma'am. You'll have to pardon our little rubber smear here from being out on the racetrack. A little bit of rubber came up off of a car in front of us, and that'll just wipe off. I was just too lazy to do that today.
How often do you take an engine to the track? You want to take a look? Sure. It's yours? Nice. Really nice car. So, it's white.
When you look at this, you'll see how far forward the motor is. That's the motor way up there. It's a relatively small V8, okay? Probably less than 180 cubic inches. On the other hand, or about 180 cubic inches, which is a small V8, especially by American standards. However, the twin turbochargers, where you can see the heat exchangers and so forth, the transmission and clutch are all behind the motor, but the weight of the motor is way far forward, so the car is nicely balanced.
Any upgrades to it?
No, ma'am. This is it. We did put on an aftermarket exhaust, which we still have the original exhaust. And it only takes about 15-20 minutes to change the exhaust. This makes a little bit more noise, but what can I say? I'm still a kid at heart.
How often have you taken it to the track?
Oh golly, my wife and I have driven this at Road America, Mid-Ohio, Road Atlanta, Gingerman, Watkins Glen. So it's got a considerable number of track events on it.
Oh, okay.
What are the size tires here, do you know?
I block it on that because I'm bringing back to, we've got another red go-kart that's got even wider tires.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What about the interior of the car?
The interior is very Spartan. Let me show you. The doors are just very lightweight, okay? Hang on one second, I'll come around that side. Okay?
Say that one more time.
The doors you could literally carry around in your hand, they're that lightweight. But this is your protection. Okay? If you take off the headliner underneath the roof, you'll see the crossbars, so there's plenty of stuff in there to protect you. God forbid you had an off-the-track event. But you can see the seats, okay, with the Nomex, bare floors, okay, you know, non-glare dash, and no cigarette lighter, no ashtray. But the street car, they actually put air conditioning in these things, which in my personal experience will give you frostbite on your knee if you're wearing shorts and you have the air conditioner on full blast.
And what about the paint of the car?
I'm sorry?
The paint of the car?
These generically came out red with the red interior. I recently saw a picture of one that has the red interior and is painted in like a medium dark blue. It's very striking. There was a F40, I believe in France, that raced, and that's painted yellow, okay? But most of them you'll see are going to be in red.
What about the rims and the wheels?
Now these were all standard. Obviously they need to be buffed up a little bit to just standard wear and tear from driving. Because like I said, when we got the car in 1993, there were 1,700 miles on it. Now we have 53,000, and a fair number of those are racetrack miles. So it has withstood the test of time much better than me.
What other cars do you have?
Have an SUV, which is a rather boring. I have a racing riding lawnmower, and the other car that we'll take out in the track is a 333 SP, which is an open cockpit, covered wheel, professionally built race car from Ferrari F40.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, man.